I'm telling you, this finale, it's unbelievable. How tepid contemporary art seems compared to the passionate quality of this finale. So you have this like huge, like it's like romantic nature painting, apocalyptic landscape of the lava. Lucas cross-cuts the destruction of the Senate chamber, and you have the destruction of industry going on. And then, after all these horrors, it is so beautiful. I'm saying, oh my God, nothing in the last 30 years in any of the arts has been produced as emotionally compelling and significant as the finale of Revenge of the Sith.
This is where the fun begins.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age. Are you sure? So be it.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to Cap Chats. Yes, the very first Cap Chat of the new year, actually on the 1st of January, the new year, the calendar new year. How are you guys doing? And I hope you guys had a great time celebrating, no matter if you stayed home, went out, all of that. I hope you had a great time with family and friends celebrating as well. And today we're going to recap New Jedi Order from the last year and chat about New Jedi Order lore, of course. We're going to talk about the state of the EU since the buyout. What does that mean? And we're also going to get into LucasFacts, Book of the Week, and Cringe Factor. So I thought of doing some special things of going back and clipping moments of Cap Chat for today and stuff like that. But, you know, I was hanging out with family, enjoying myself and relaxing and all of that. And so, you know, maybe I'll do that for another time sometime soon. You know, reflecting back on Cap Chat here on Cap Chat. I don't know. I'm trying to think about the funny moments, the special moments, the biggest, you know, getting up on my soapbox rage or rant or whatever you want to call it, talk, you know, all of that. So, but here we are, new year. Wow. And it has been raining since yesterday off and on. And as I look out my window right here, I don't have my camera on. Part of the reason is that I went to bed and I forgot to clean some of the makeup off my eyes. And so when I did it this morning, I'm not in a, you know, I guess you could say decent look to be on camera. And it's okay. But looking out the window just and seeing like the sun peeking through now a little bit from the clouds and stuff, and the water glistening on the grass and the pavement and stuff like that. Really beautiful morning. So with that being said, what is in your mug? Are you drinking something to kind of wake you up from maybe having a few drinks too much last night? Or are you waking up with a clear mind and just a cup of coffee anyways, or something you want to enjoy? Cheers to you guys. Happy New Year. And as always, hit the like, share the stream out, let people know we're live. We are live on Rumble. So all those on Rumble, hello, how are you doing? And that there, I'm trying to grow on there. I'm live on Twitter as well. And just, you know, expanding, broadening the reach of George Lucas era of Star Wars across platforms. And that has been the focus of my channel since I began it under the Star Wars niche, I guess you can say, under the George Lucas era Star Wars. Since I began, woohoo, nice little stretch and woohoo, oh my goodness. And if you're catching the replay, hello to you. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out. Please like and share and let me know you were here. And if you're catching this because you basically just are hate watching, cheers to you. Happy New Year's as well. You guys are amazing for continuing to support my channel the way you are. And thank you so much because I am your
certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up to score with them. The industry can hate me. Fuck them all and they mama.
Cheers to you guys as well. You know, thank you so much for, you know, tuning in, every single one of you. So let me see who's in the chat. We have Nerd Migos. How are you doing? Happy New Year to you. Star Wars Grand. Hello, everyone. Hit the like on the way in. Yes. And we have, we have never been so back. I could just imagine like a clip from Dark Melvin's channel from one of the American Pies movies. Oh my God. Was it Stifler? Yeah, Stifler. And then hello, Happy New Year, everyone, and Batsy. Happy New Year to you. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I am the only one who thinks Luke in the Dark Empire anime clip looks like Rowdy Roddy Piper. I never thought about that. Let's see here. And Happy New Year to Mr. Dystopian. How are you doing? And Diddly Squat. Yo, what's up? How are you? Lucas Gerson. Hello there, everyone. Happy New Year to all, you all. And you got some cap. Cheers to you. And just a Raspberry Mountain. Raspberry Mountain, you mean Raspberry Mountain Dew? Raspberry, or do you live on a mountain that has raspberries? I don't know, just had to say that. I got a Mountain Dew. Nice. Let's hear. Cheers to him too as well. Let's see here. I'm still here and will always be here. And don't be like Kevin. Yes, don't be like a Kevin. That is the Disney Shills Fence Riders equivalent of a Karen. Don't be like a Kevin. That's so funny. I'm gonna have to pull it up so some of you guys can be caught up to speed on that. Yes, Mountain Dew voltage. Okay. All right, there we go. You're like Raspberry Mountain. I was like, okay, well, raspberries, they won't be in bloom right now, considering we're in winter, but I had to. And I see I don't have my Vato here, my Soul Assassin mod here. Probably had himself a grand time last night, and maybe he's not awake right now. So hopefully he tunes in and we see him a little bit as we get further into Cap Chat. Yeah, so New Year's. Do you guys do New Year's resolution? Or are you like, you know what, those fucking never work. I just continue my goals as if the new year has never started. I just continue with what I've been doing, whatever the goal is. Insert the goal here. You know, so me, I used to do resolutions. I'm like, I'm gonna do this and da da da. And then I was like, no. It's just it's like they're built to fail. And it's like, I don't want to do that. So what I do is just like whatever goal I'm working on, I just continue into this new year. And my goal basically is, whoa, I'm awake. Wow. Just talking about you too, and he shall come. But so I just continue my goal, continue what I've been doing, no matter where we're at in the calendar year. And that has been relatively successful for me then to make an all-out statement of a resolution or resolution. Yeah, resolution. And declaring something like that, you know. So, but not saying that if you do one, you like bashing you. This is just me. I just don't vibe with that kind of thing anymore, and that's just how I am. But if you make one and you have been successful before, share your story with me. I'd love to hear it. Everybody has their own type of discipline and how they can carry it out. So. But do you do resolutions or not? And I think it's case by case, right? Because you could look at me. I'm one of those case by case kind of people. You know, I'm like, I don't do them anymore. I don't do it anymore. Let's see here. He's alive. Yeah, he's alive. I know. I was like, where is he? He's probably still sleeping, probably hanging over or something. But the Vato is here. What's up? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. Now, I figured today, because we are, it's a new year, and everybody either goes out or parties down at their friends, family, their home, or what have you. It's like I'm the earliest here. Like a lot of people that come in here are specifically not California or West Coast time, Pacific time. But if you have the day off, you don't have to about going to work or anything like that or going anywhere. Pretty sure that you freaking had yourself a blast and, you know, are not worrying about waking up because no need to at any time. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And to my Rumble people over there, thank you guys so much for tuning in over there. I know that Cap Chat is a morning show. And sometimes it gets kind of sticky when you do morning shows because people work, especially on the weekday. People work or are committed for things and are getting ready to leave for the day or what have you. and usually shows vibe or not vibe. Geez, what's up with that word vibe? Shows are better platformed at night on the weekdays, and then usually the weekends. Usually. So I am so thankful for those of you, and I've had 100 people in here before on Cap Chat, and then I've had a few. So it fluctuates throughout the whole year. And so what I'm saying here is thank you guys so much for your dedication to the channel, to Cap Chat, especially when in the past year I have slowed down significantly with producing, pre-recorded content, and been sticking to Cap Chat to communicate with you guys in the greater community of George Lucas era Star Wars. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. You guys are freaking amazing. And I know I promised this last Sunday of channel members book club, and then I forgot that I told Pierce that I was going to be on his channel to talk Shadows of the Empire. So that shifted a little bit. So I'm looking forward to actually having a book club this Sunday, and we will, continue on with Young Jedi Knights. So those who pop in for that, thank you guys so much. Whoever's a channel member, if you have the time, Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, come join, sit, listen, and chat about the current book that we are listening to. Gordon says, I am not going to call them resolutions, but there are some things I'm going to stop doing. Nice. Nice. At least you're consistent at staying the same time, not randomly changing times. That's what I want to do, because consistency is the key. And my channel, grows slowly, but I'm thankful for those who continue to subscribe. And we know YouTube's history of unsubbing people. We know YouTube's history of how they prefer certain content at certain times, or if you don't post the next amount of time, then sometimes you don't get into the algorithm. All of that. There's all of that for YouTube. But my thing is that no matter what, to be consistent with my Cap Chat and be here for you guys and with you guys to discuss Star Wars, George Lucas era specifically. And I haven't done a compare and contrast video in quite a long time, and those were one of my favorite videos to do. And I'm hoping to do something soon. And I know there's new content things like continuity chronicles that I have introduced this last year. Was it this last year or was it a year before? I think it was this last year, 2025. And continuity chronicles became a thing when Purist Darth Bane, shared Tenebrous Way. And I haven't read that story since when he first shared it. I haven't, read that or listened to it in a long time. And then so when I was listening to it again, I was like, holy shit, we take for granted how well the continuity was maintained and how they created a historical timeline within all of the Star Wars galaxy, the universe, whatever you want to call it. That's including the movies, the novels, the games, what have you. They did specifically well. Yes, over like the 30-some years that it was under George Lucas and growing and continuing to expand on the lore and stuff, there has been hiccups. They had to do some retcons and stuff like that. We know that because when something that is growing, like this was under George Lucas, it was a living entity. If you think about it, it was a living entity, always growing. Lore was always being added. So that careful maintenance of it, and even having to correct errors along the way, is what fans loved about it. Like it was a historical timeline, and the continuity was freaking amazing. And we were like, yeah, there was this hiccup here, and this novel or this comic corrected it or expanded on it some more. And that's the beautiful thing. So this continuity chronicle that I came up with when I realized with Tenebris that there's part of it, he's talking and explaining the Sith, I guess you could say, and talking about like this vision of the future or something he's seen, and he was referring to the one Sith, to Darth Bane, not Darth Bane, sorry, Darth Krayt. Excuse me, Darth Krayt. I'm thinking about one era and talking about the other. But Darth Krayt, the one Sith. And so that's how Continuity Chronicles was born. And since then, I did a couple more. I have one that I've been slowly putting together. I say slowly because there's other things that have my occupation right now, my time, my attention. And I think it's magnificent to share with you guys Continuity Chronicles to show how well everything was maintained and how this historical timeline works within George Lucas era Star Wars. So that's one thing that was birthed during 2025. And we can thank Darth Bane or Pierce for that, for reintroducing Tenebris Way with me and me realizing, oh shit, I need to do something. And that's how it was born. And you know what? In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and we're going to listen to it. So let me go ahead and take the time to do that, because I think that it's something that we should celebrate. Let's see here. Videos. And where is it? All I'm going to do is probably change the cover for it. Part of the cover for it. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, let me go ahead and restart that and share screen. So that is one thing that was birthed during the time of 2025. And I really absolutely love the idea of it. And I think if I put out more and more, it just brings more attention to how well the EU, actually George Lucas era Star Wars, because it's not only the EU was maintained, was kept, right? Let's see here. Share. All right, here we go.
The future was always in motion, and while other Sith struggled to foresee the faintest, least specific hints of what was to come, Tenebris had no need to see the future. He could calculate it, while still merely an apprentice. His analysis had shown him the inevitable end of the Banite Sith and its preposterous rule of two. His calculations plainly indicated the coming of a shadow so vast, it would darken the galaxy entirely. So vast, it would mark the end of both Jedi and Sith, as the universe had known them heretofore. The rise of the shadow would be the end of history itself. Tenebris had not the slightest doubt that the entire galaxy would measure time according to its arrival. Events would be marked by how far they had preceded the shadow, or by how long after it they followed. Though the exact nature of the Great Shadow remained occult, the remorseless logic of his extrapolation detailed the coming destruction of the Banite system and the rise of what would become known as the One Sith. One Sith. The conclusion was so obvious as to require no confirmation. One single Sith Lord would arise of such power that he would have no need of any apprentice, nor fear of the Jedi. He would take and hold the galaxy by his own hand alone, without an apprentice or a Jedi Order to destroy him. The One Sith would rule forever.
And there you go. And at the end, I shared he failed to see Cade Skywalker. So isn't that amazing how visions of the future will give you glimpses of the future, but it doesn't give you the whole vision, right? And I thought that, was pretty cool. So that's the birth of Continuity Chronicles. Now I have a couple more out that it has been published already on the channel. And every time I go back, like right now, the new Jedi Order Renaissance, and reviewing, like we did the review of oh my good balance point on BANE's channel on Rumble, and just reading through it, like this is the third time for me. Clearly shows how much is tied in, how much these authors with Lucasfilm has taken the time to highlight events that happened that may have affected like the timeline of what we're reading at, like New Jedi Order, bringing characters in that maybe we haven't seen in a while, but then all of a sudden they're back, but it makes sense because the galaxy is huge. So like Han's not going to see a buddy for a very significant long time, and boom, at this one point he does, because it's to show the galaxy is so big and stuff. So just seeing all that, I'm like, damn, I could do this, I could do that. And it gets a little overwhelming in a way, but it's a good overwhelming because it puts so much ideas in my head to share with you guys content-wise. So thank you again. Let me see what you guys are saying. I know I went on a bit of a rant, not a rant, but I guess you could say that, I wouldn't say it's pride, but I am proud of that. Historical timeline with the continuity, constantly evolving and expanding. Yes. Let's see here. The EU wasn't perfect, but it worked. I agree. Goal is to better myself. Goal is to better myself physically, mentally, and a little spiritually. A lot of BS lately has shown me that I need to focus on myself. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. The Austin verse. The Denning verse, the Austin verse, and smash the like. Yes, and I do see that I forgot to say hello, but we do have someone else that popped in that I haven't said hello to. Where did it go? Hey, I lost it. If you're popping in and I didn't say hello, here we go. Username on YouTube. So hello, how are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into LucasFacts here, since we're still on a regular schedule for Cat Chat.
That's great.
It's going to be great.
That's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
That's going to be great.
All right, so LucasFacts here. Now, I believe I pulled this from Scran. He's been going through a lot of the insiders and doing a lot of research and sharing them, especially for his Instagram. So if someone like if you like Scran, if you want to share your Instagram link, or Soul Assassin, you want to share it for him, feel free to do that. Go over there and follow. So this right here is about the original copy of the OT. So Star Wars Battles decaying film stock. Part of the problem is that the Star Wars, like many films of the 70s, utilize CRI film stock, a stock which is not clearly as archival as it was originally thought to be. Slated for a major theatrical re-release, great works of art from the Renaissance have lasted for centuries, but films made 20 years ago are deteriorating, said George Lucas. So the article, I have shared this article. The article is whole there. You can read all through it, what they're doing. And he's talking about, cleaning it up, and of course, this is going into making the special editions as well. And the cleanup is also making better scenes, some of the scenes better, changing some of the scenes up. But you know what? He's never changed the story. Never changed the story. So ideas were put in that he previously wanted, all of that. We can debate from here till next year about the special editions versus the original. The original, and if you want to go check it out, it is on Tim's or Open Airlock or the United Spacers Alliance channel. but he discusses basically that there is no one true version of the original copy anymore, because even in 1977, the original was being edited and changed up a little bit per how the first viewing happened and the quality of that, and versus different theaters that it's been in, the sound, all of that, some scenes, all of that. So George was continually, from the beginning, changing things with the OT. With the OT from the beginning. So is there original, like the original, the very first one? Probably not. And even the copy that they found is just a copy of it. It's not the original. And it could be one of the changes that he did during 1977 when it was out in the theaters. In fact, it was a copy that was sent to Europe. And so it's probably one of the recent changes during that time frame. So is it real? Is it really the original? Probably not. And I would basically just keep, be sure that it's not the original that people really think is the original, because it's not there anymore. A video by YouTuber, check name, open airlock policy. Is it? Is it open airlock? Because that's how that's reading on my end. So if it's open airlock, hello, how are you doing? Happy New Year to you. Let's see here. And hey, AOT, Happy New Year to you as well. The first time the movie came out before it was finished and was re-released with 2 different audios. Yeah. And I think people who are like, oh, we're finally getting the original, like they're finally releasing the original that George had in the vault, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's ignorance. Do your fucking research, people. Do your fucking research. It's not the actual original, and it can't be. Let's see here. It's a joke. Oh, I get it now. Hey, I'm coming off of like New Year's celebration too, so. Excuse me, now let's just choke on my spit too. Excuse me, everyone. Yeah. Thank you so much. There we go. There you go. So there it is. That's been discussed and stuff like that. And I wish I could have like recorded the conversation, but I had a chance to sit in on at UCLA about in the film, I guess you could say, department, I guess you could say, there's another name for that. I'm just not calling, I can't think of the name right now. And they talked about even not Disney, the original trilogy, like the original, that it's not in good quality and it's archived right now. It's like archived and stuff like that. So that was another thing that was discussed, because of course, George Lucas's movies are something that like film schools and stuff like that review on, and because of the success of George Lucas and his pioneering through the film industry. Isn't that amazing? George Lucas and his pioneering as an independent filmmaker, person who didn't want to have the constraints of Hollywood and Hollywood telling him what to do. He was a pioneer. He was a pioneer, or he is or was, he's still alive, but he was a pioneer of his time. That's fucking amazing. That is amazing. All right, Soul Assassin says, from what I recall, the only somewhat true version is being stored at a film archives. Yeah, that's what was discussed at UCLA. I don't think anyone has access to it. And then Scran says, Lucasfilm back in the day said that the original was damaged during the special editions. Yeah. And it was damaged, but also the type of film that it was on and stuff like that. So there's that. There's so many things explaining the quality of the original and stuff like that. So we will never get that original. And also those are like, oh, I am going to go see. I'm going to like how everybody's seen it when it first came out in 1977. I get that experience, blah, blah. No, you don't, sweetheart. Because everybody's already seen a version, and it's usually the special editions, or maybe the 2006 one that was blah 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 blah. Geez, I can't even think now. Like, take a sip. That was given out during the DVDs, or the 2006 one there. But you've seen Star Wars already. You've seen already, so it's not going to be the same thing. It's not going to be the same thing from going in for the first time and experiencing something like that for the first time versus knowing what to expect. It's a different feeling. It's a different thing, because I've seen Star Wars in the theaters a few times, like growing up. And when you see it for the first time is not comparable for when you see it in the theaters again. No matter what, because you're still seeing the same thing. Slightly different in some things, but it's still the same story. It's still the same plots, right? So you're not going to be feeling or experiencing the same thing as those who've seen it for the first time in theaters. That's just how it goes. And so there we go. Now, does it matter if Han shot first? Not really, but to people, it does. To some people, it does. So let me know, you guys, in the chat. Does it matter if Han shot first to you? You know, and that's one of those sticky debates, because then people say, well, it really did change the plot of the story. No, not really. It just changed Han's direction a little tiny bit, but it didn't ruin him. So let me know in the chat. If anybody wants to, hi, Josh Van, how are you doing? I see you. Happy New Year. And I know it's a sticky subject, and people can get into huge arguments about that. And even the Jabba scene. Even the Jabba scene. Because I've been, like, just recently, I've been in discussions, debates, heated ones, about how that spoils Jabba's reveal in Return of the Jedi. Bringing Jabba in, no matter human or in his Hutt form, for the special editions, changes Return of the Jedi's revealing of who Jabba is. And so I've been in those debates too. So does that matter to you? Did it spoil it for you? Did it make it Return of the Jedi less worthy to you? You like arguments, OG. I like debate discussions. Let's see here. Han shooting first or not is irrelevant to the overall story. In the end of the day, Greedo dies anyway. Yeah, the outcome is still the same, right? The outcome is still the same. Make it into a poll on Twitter or OG. See if anyone answers. Oh, I bet you it would. I bet you I would get plenty of answers. No, the thing is, Greedo pointed a gun at Han first and was the aggressor. Yep. And Coruscant in episode 4 was simply awesome. And you know what? I was going to begin, and I was like, I'm not going to have time to freaking edit this so I don't get a strike or anything like that. But I was going to edit the ending of Return of the Jedi as with the fireworks and Coruscant and all that, just to begin Calf Chat today because it's the new year, right? But then I didn't have time to do it. But I don't mind that change. I don't mind that change. Let's see here. Andor is intentional anti-Star Wars Disney slop. It is. The real debate is McClunky. Oh, that was fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. But hey, again, does it change anything for you guys? Does it make you not like Star Wars because of that? Because if you grew up liking Star Wars, no matter what, and then you got into the EU and stuff like that, I don't think yeah, you could be upset. You're like, oh, what the fuck? Doesn't mean that you're gonna not like it anymore. You're just not gonna agree. But people act like it's like someone took their cat and drowned the damn cat or something. Sorry, I'm looking at the cat in the window right now. That's why I use that analogy. And it's like a huge crime or what have you. But you know, I'm here to discuss that. You know, well, we are here to discuss George Lucas era Star Wars. So I guess this is just an organic topic. You know, yeah. Let's see here. Poor Darth Toby. I don't want to drown my cats. No way. Guess because I'm a 90s kid and grew up on the special editions, the change really don't affect me like the others. And that's the thing too. People who grew up on it, it really didn't matter to them. I grew up on the OG, OT stuff. And I still love that. And I still love the special editions for what they were. Let me go ahead and play this. I'm going to close my window, my curtain, because it's like shining on the screen and I can't read and I need to reposition. So let me go ahead and find something for you guys to listen to while I do this. Let's see here. Oh God, I can't see the screen. All right. Where is it at? Let's play this.
I had fought the worst of all wars and witnessed the redemption of evil. I have seen balance restored to the Force. But order can turn to chaos, as it did when I was born. Now, with my loved ones and my loyal allies, I face a new challenge unlike any before. And I'm not sure at this time we can win.
Star Wars Vector Prime by R.A. Salvatore, the first novel of the new Jedi Order.
All right, so there you go. LucasFacts. And yes, the special edition did give the Outrider and other things that were coming into production for the EU during that time. So those the EU very well can point those items out. And they're like, well, ILM is the one that did it. Well, ILM can't do anything until George Lucas approves it because it's his movie. Mr. Grizzy is hella funny. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Cheers to one of our gatekeepers. And if we have any gatekeepers listening in, happy New Year's to you guys, to my bros. And let's see here. Where is it? Oh, I didn't want to play.
Because there's a fucking gatekeeper. There's a fucking gatekeeper.
Cheers to the Gatekeepers Alliance. We all have our unique voices that we contribute to it. From what Grizzy shares, what Melvin shares, Tim, myself, BANE, we all have our own unique perspectives contributing to Gatekeepers Alliance. There we go. Let's see here. The sequels. The sequel truly got more hate and the Shills get from yeah, I agree. Let's see here. Let's see here. And tonight I will be on with the plan is for me to be on Mr. Grizzy's for the Shield Awards. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Sub to Grizzy right there. Yes, there we go. Thank you so much. I love the Alliance. Thank you. Thank you, Josh Van. All right. So with that being said, there is the LucasFacts. Now, I do have a Discord. And I will be sharing the link out sporadically. So those who want to be in the Discord, there's little steps that you're going to go through from being like a normie, which is a movie snob. So that's everybody came in through Star Wars, mostly came in through Star Wars for the movies. And so that's how that theme is going. And then you earn your way through because it's not about being an echo chamber, but there'll be discussions that may want to remain private between, the OG community and stuff like that. I'm just trying to not have the Disney Shills infiltrate and stuff like that. Just because I just don't want them in there. I don't want them in there because they have never welcomed me. They don't want civil discourse. And I'm talking like one specific person too, but I could say all of them don't want civil discourse. and they will take something that you said, if it's an error or something that you typed that is an error, and use it on you as if that's your intention. And that right there is in bad faith. Who wants someone like that in your community when all they care about is trying to cancel and destroy someone's image because you just don't agree with them? And you could say, this is what happened. This is where I got the source, blah, blah, blah. They don't fucking care. They don't want it. They just want to continue to try to cancel you. And I think that's fucking bullshit. So there we go. Let's see here. Yes, I do have a lot of stalkers. It's disgusting. And what's so fucking funny is I'm the only female person of the Gatekeepers. And I'm not fucking a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not. But I'm the only female of the Gatekeepers Alliance. And they feel like they could go after me more than anything else. And I'm like, okay, so bro, that makes you feel like more of a man? Well, more power to you, you damn cuck. Yeah. Let's see here. Obsessive, hypocritical, cancel pigs. Yes, that's exactly what that is. And let's see here. OG got bounty on her by the Shills. How much are we talking? That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Like there was something shared like in someone's Discord about me that was shared in someone's video about me. And they're like, look at everyone. We got OG or something like that. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's no evidence of like, quote unquote, getting me. It's fucking crazy. So I know that in someone's Discord, there is a basic little channel in Discord about me. It's fucking funny. OG is the last person I want to challenge. Ha ha ha. Let's see here. Star Wars Grand, the Jabba Pretender appears in the Kenobi novel. Ooh. I would never. The Kenobi novel, yeah. Let's see here. Had a couple of fans crying in Grizzy's chat last night. It was fun to mess with them. I missed it last night. I have to go catch the replay. Like I said, I didn't prep things like how I wanted for Cat Chat today, and that's okay. And so I wasn't on anybody. I wasn't on YouTube or anything. I was just, my time was with family, chilling, relaxing, enjoying the grandbaby, all of that. It was fun to mess with them. One got put in 24-hour timeout for disrespecting the troops. Oh my God, that's hilarious. And I probably won't be able to see it go down in the chat now because sometimes YouTube will, even though you had given permission for the chat to play on the replay, sometimes it doesn't happen. I don't know, it's weird. Boogeyman, yes, I am the Boogeyman. Where is it again? Let's play it. Where is it? It's like, oh, here it is.
Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with them. The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Bitch, sit down.
There we go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the book of the week, you guys. Oh my goodness. And this has been a fun discussion with you guys. Let's see here. Oh shit. Wow, don't you love it when that happens?
I hate to say it, but it looks like the item you're searching for doesn't exist.
Impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
If an item does not appear in our records, it does not exist.
It does not exist. All right, so there we go. This is a short story by Timothy Zahn, and cover artist is Andrew Robinson, published in Star Wars Insider 76 and 77. And so it says paperback, but that's not basically it. I just forgot to edit that out. My mistake. But it was published May 18th, 2004 and August 13th. So part 1, May 18th, part 2, August 3rd, 2004. So the paperback, it's not in paperback, it's on Insider. That's one thing I forgot to take off when I was editing this. So shit happens, mistakes happen. So changing seasons. So this is a story that happened 2 years after Attack of the Clones, and Anakin is still a Padawan. And I thought about bringing, because I have the insiders, basically. I was thinking about clipping them and putting them on PowerPoint and going over the story with you guys. But then I was like, you know what? They're both, it's a short story, but in the long run, it's a little long because there's a part 1 and a part 2. And so I was like, maybe not this time. Maybe I'll make specific time to share short stories with you guys. But here are the continuity notes. Through this, though the story was originally set 2 years after the Battle of Geonosis, Anakin's betrayal as a Padawan later conflicts with TCW 08. So there you go. So this right here, the short story, and if you have Insider 76 and 77, then you have the copies of this. I'm thinking about doing short stories on my Discord and putting the PDF versions of these short stories up so that you guys have access to that. So that is something that I've been thinking about since I decided to do the short story. I'm like, hey, I have it here. I can save it, put it in PDF, and share it with you guys on Discord. So I'm thinking about doing that. So there you go. But again, you know, this came out in 2004. So it stayed with continuity, right? That, you know, Anakin was still a Padawan up until just right before Revenge of the Sith. And so when TCW came out, that hurt a lot of that. And I didn't leave up the timeline, but it's 22 BBY. So it's like basically shared 22 BBY for whatever reason, or because of TCW, which still doesn't make sense. So yeah, let's see here. A new year and still no Rainbow Squad from. Nope, sorry, dude. He keeps revealing he is a Disney shill. Oh my God, what is wrong with him? It's like he has his slips now and then, and it's quite funny. It is quite funny. It is crazy. It is crazy. But hey, you know, we're still continuing with the Renaissance of the new Jedi Order.
Is this the book to do?
I haven't read that book.
Oh, really?
No. Nope. No, there's a lot of books I haven't read.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were like an encyclopedia.
No, that's not me. That's more so Ryan. Badger. You had a guy earlier on, Purist, Justin.
Oh yeah, Justin, yeah.
He's an encyclopedia. Trying to think who else. But yeah, those are like the main ones, really. I'm more so the first 6 films, some select EU stuff.
Well, you know, since we're on Book of the Week, I thought I'd play that clip. There's a clip I forgot to put up here, which is fine. He built his channel on Star Wars. He built his channel on theories, right? There's a lot of Star Wars EU lore that he made and even movie stuff that he put into theory, which is fine. That's his channel, Star Wars Theory. Then he started doing lore videos. And there was a back and forth about his lore videos. And we've been pointing out how his lore videos are not accurate. And then he made an announcement too before that he was going to do a lore video like every day or some. I forget exactly when he said, but they were going to be very consistent, basically. And I'm paraphrasing. And he also had ghostwriters. So going into this now, even after he shared he had ghostwriters and he's going to have more lore videos, we know that he's never read any of that. And that, yeah, he's a Star Wars channel, but he's not, there's nothing authentic about that, about his platform. And here, I'll compare myself. My measly almost 3.5K channel. I admit my strong points versus my weak points with my knowledge, and that I don't have the gameplay experience to share like gameplay. So do I do videos on those? No. And when I do is when I'll start experiencing them. My weak points would be the Old Republic, especially the gameplay. I know the stories. I've read the stories. But the gameplay for it. So when I decide to start reporting more and more and sharing more and more lore is when I'm going to like basically engulf myself in that timeline. Because it is my due diligence for you guys, especially a lot of you guys are Old Republic fans in here, and I respect that. Thank you for being here. My due diligence is to make sure that I lived it basically by reading it, experiencing it, all of that, so that we can have a bigger, broader conversation. I won't be sitting there with just a blank mind because I don't know what the fuck we're talking about and making up shit. So, very first thing, calling out the frauds of, going into the new year, calling out the frauds. Now he admits, and I give respect, that he hasn't read it. But why in the past does he pretend like as if he did? Oh, my lore videos, and everybody praising him. Oh, he's made lore videos so he of the EU, so he knows it. If you've been a member of or subscribed to his channel for a very long time, and you have not put two and two together before this announcement on Anna's channel as his guest, and her expression, oh my God, like the expression tells all. She's like, what the fuck? Her expression tells all, right? So if you've been a member or subscribed to his channel for a very long time, you've been fucking played. You're an idiot if you can't see two and two. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, so here's the book of the week. Just went on a little bit of exposing rats. Exposing rat. Do I make mistakes on stuff? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I admit them. And I have admitted recent ones too. Do I have to send an apology to certain people? No, I don't. I can share with them what I made the mistake on, and it's up to them if they want to take it or not, which they don't because they're cancel pigs. Okay. My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. Smash the like. I've been transparent since my channel started that I'm new to the EU. People can tell when you are faking. Exactly. And it's been a joy watching you experience these stories for the first time that you're reading. It's been just a joy because I'm like, damn, this, and then it brings like that nostalgic feeling of my first time, right? My last name is in the Old Republic, General Garza. Okay. Let's see here. Don't bring up the China Saber scam to his friends, the free speech comedian Chrissy Meyer and she'll ban you. Oh, wow. Okay, I had no idea about that one. I'm missing lore on that one. Anakin's a Jedi king shortly after Geonosis is so nonsensical. Yes, I agree. But it's 19 books, OG. I know, right? It's 19 books. If you can't read through a 19-book series, then why are you going to commit to the EU in general? It's just easy to sit down and just dull your mind and watch a show. Silence book reader, a person who watched a 5-minute video is speaking. Goes to written lore videos. He built his channel when the hype was high for the new stuff a decade ago. I watched him back then. Yeah, I know. And then, he did a lot of theories, which is fine. It's almost like, we had seen other channels doing theories on what the new owners were doing versus, you know, like theories about like what if so and so lived during this time, kind of theories and stuff like that. And I get it, you know, but don't pretend something you're not. Don't pretend something you're not. Darth Ragnar. We've been calling him Normie for over a year and no one believed us. She's shocked. She's so shocked. Oh, goodness. All right, you guys. Wow, it is already past the hour. We've been going for a little over an hour here. Woohoo, you guys are freaking amazing. So let me grab my source book here because it's easier since I didn't make anything to as a PowerPoint or anything like that because I was totally just spending my time with family and stuff like that. So the Yuuzhan Vong, let me go ahead and get out the screen here. The Yuuzhan Vong, well, first of all, let me go ahead and give credit where credit's due. Soul Assassin's given me the name New Year, New Jedi Order, and that's when I began talking. Now the New Year, the New Jedi Order Renaissance began when they were talking on this Theories channel about the 19 books and so much reading and I just can't do it and the Victor Prime is so boring. I just couldn't get through it, you know, talking about the abridged version. He couldn't listen through, like his attention span is not there. So I guess it was boring for him. I don't know. But anyways, from talk regarding that is what sparked the New Jedi Order Renaissance. Now, this is where I wish I would have, you know, screenshot and used it as evidence to this. But since we began talking about the New Jedi Order, a lot of these fence riding shills started discussing it as well. And because of that, they got into this Alston-verse conversation about the events happening after. And so because of my talk, because of Purist, because of Scran, and me constantly, and I need to get back to the constant posting of the New Jedi Order that I have been doing on Twitter and stuff like that. But because of the New Jedi Order Renaissance, now these fence riding shills have been discussing it. And many people like Soul Assassin, for example, has been pointing out that, Laura, you are being watched. These people are watching your direction and they're going the same direction because it's bringing them attention, blah, blah, blah. And that is what a Renaissance is about, right? But when you use it and take it to bash what came before to heighten what's coming out now, I think is fucking dishonest. I do. This is not to say that there weren't stories that were bad or just didn't hit, I guess you could say, like some other stories. Like when we get through towards the end of the New Jedi Order 19-book series, there are a couple of books I really didn't care for, but they're there and they still move the story. They could have been written, you know, I have my critique, but am I going to say, because of this, the EU is bad, so don't, you know, have criticism for what's coming out now? No, I'm not. I'm going to give my constructive criticism. You know, so there we go. Let's see here. Let me see what you guys are saying. I merely gave the idea and OG, her crew made it happen. And now the shills and grifters are copying it. I have ultimate power. The ultimate power. I need that clip. There's some clips. I'm right. I need to put some clips. I need to refreshen my clips that I have on my here on my media assets. Victor Prime is the perfect introduction to New Jedi Order. It is, but it is so fucking boring to them. Let's see here. Soul Assassin is an instigator. He sure is. It's a slow but very informative book. It set the place to the war very well done. Yeah, I agree. And go subscribe to BANE Purist on Rumble. He is continuing to transfer a lot of the content he had from his YouTube channel that remains and that he still has over to Rumble. So he has series coming up. So stay tuned for that. I have my moments, Scran. Unlimited power. Yeah, and I don't sound like him, but hey. All right. So we went through. So thanks to the Renaissance, it really picked up on Twitter and then even on YouTube. And, you know, of course, credit is never given where credit is due. And that's, I guess, how it goes sometimes, especially when people are doing this and they don't like the person that they're copying, that they're following, right? They won't give credit where credit's due. And that's just the name of the game sometimes. So we got into the Yuuzhan Vong, all their lore, their purification rituals, their deities, all of that. We broke that down. Their castes from the insignificant to the most significant of where you can earn and grow, I guess you say, as a Vong. And also depending on who you worship is where you're going to go. So you can have War Master Sovereign Law. And so he worshiped deities for that. And versus, you know, Nomenor, who was more of a trickster. So he's going to worship the twins and have that under his belt or whatever. And we also talked about, and I want to get more into it. And so maybe because we briefly talked about how Nomenor was seeded here years ago to scan out, to learn about the beings of the galaxy that they plan to invade, right? So I really need to get into that. We need to do a full discussion just on Nomenor. I know we're like over halfway done now with the series, like with just the events, talking about the events and stuff like that. But I just realized that we didn't give that talk, that conversation about Nomenor. So maybe starting next Thursday, that's where we begin, and then we'll take off on the timeline where we left off at. So Nomenor will be the one to kick off, like him being the seed for the invasion, because he plays critical role throughout the whole fucking series. He does. He sure does. And so I think it's good to give discussion about him. So Nomenor next Thursday, and then we'll pick up where we left off in the timeline after that. Let me see what you guys are saying. I like to read along to books. Do you guys know a channel that uploads the audios, books, even if unofficial? Yes, there's so many. Scran, if you can go ahead and share that. Or even Soul Assassin. Let me see here. I did an NJO history video before HoloNet. Just saying. Yeah, so there you go. And it's like synchronicity, because HoloNet did his 7-part series of the history behind the scenes of the new Jedi Order. And it wasn't planned. Like, we didn't talk with him and he didn't talk with us about, you know, talking and bringing new Jedi Order out to the masses. It just happened that way. And so I was lucky enough to be, I wasn't on with them when they discussed it, but I was on the panel when Pierce brought in HoloNet to talk about his 7 series, you know, behind the scenes documentary series that he, you know, was doing. He did. So I would love to just have you guys check it out. And it's a dedication to sit down and read, because each part is like a couple hours. So check it out when you have time, and just, you know, go through them when you have the time and stuff. It's very interesting to see. Oh, there's some too. Let me see here. I'm having a mint right now. I like Andes. Do you guys like Andes? Let me see. So we got into the Yuuzhan Vong early excursions and the state of the galaxy. The Imperial Remnant. You know, we got into all of that, and each one was a theme, and I'll still carry that theme. We'll discuss the state of the Yuuzhan Vong, the New Republic, the Imperial Remnant, and certain events that happened in those timelines that are very important to talk about. So that's the gist of that as we move forward. And we talked about, like, where they began and how they started moving towards the core, with even the maps and stuff that Lucasfilm made for the series. And so that's something interesting. And then also one thing that I pointed out and that other people now use is the galaxy shared in the hardcover books, where it looks like the Yuuzhan Vong hand or a claw reaching towards Coruscant, towards the core. So that was very interesting as well. The biological weapons, their biological lifestyle, and how electronics and all of that is blasphemy to them. And there's a history behind that, which I will talk about later on. So some of us already know why they don't like, droids and all that. There's a history behind where they come from to why they don't like that type of technology and stuff like that, the use of it and all of that. Y'all lucky. Not many mods would help the chat out like me. You're amazing. You are fucking amazing. Happy New Year to you. Now let's see, what can I play for you, because let's celebrate. Where is he? Where is my guy here? Here. Nope, that's not it. Damn it. There we go. And I would like to ask, from where we left off on Enemies Line 1, and we're going into 2. So that's where we last left off at. Do you guys have any questions regarding everything that we talked about? I know it's like thinking back. Damn, we're covering a year, 2025. Do you have any questions from when we're going over all of this? Do you want to bring up something that was significant to you? And if you've been following along on Pierce's channel, then we are covering the books. We are reviewing the books as well. So we get more into chapter by chapter what's going on versus what I'm talking about, just major, entities and the events surrounding them. Let's see here. We have Serpendel, for Vector Prime. We have the loss of Chewie, the loss of major players, major characters in the series as well. Dark Times. And that's what Ecrit. Yeah. That was the focus, because before then everything had some like repeats, wash and repeat, a happy ending kind of thing. They needed to up the stakes, and this right here was cleverly done, well done, and set up the future. And here it says new species, the Kamasi. And then, like the state of the Jedi Academy, which is another entity that will still be discussed and stuff like that. So going through Dark Tide 1 and 2. And Tatooine refugee camps. And trying to get all these refugees to a safe space where the Vong were still a step or two ahead of them has been crazy, right? See here, and Ithor, the fall of Ithor, and how the Vong basically reneged on that. And let's see here, and which kind of put Corran Horn into kind of like a exile kind of deal. There's a political type exile to help the Jedi still kind of stay in the positive light, but we know that in the state of the galaxy, there wasn't really, because they were damned if they do, damned if they don't, right? And then, of course, Debullion, Lando's Folly, all of that there. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, there, it finally came out. There we go. Ooh, excuse me. All right. And where we seen the battle meld happen between the solo kids, something that was that was brought back into the newer Jedi that has been used prior in the Old Republic. Can you tell me, does the existence of the Yuuzhan Vong justify the Galactic Empire policies? A lot of people say the Empire would easily the Wongs, the Vongs. No, and that's covered from midway, or not even midway. yeah, midway, I guess you could say midway towards the end of the series. And the conclusion is that no, they wouldn't have. And we did discuss this on Pierce's channel. And saying what they said is basically like the Empire created the Death Star to protect the galaxy from them and stuff like that. That it comes from vague information to where authors can take it any which way they wanted to, but it was never written that that was a fact. It was only hinted. There was no proven evidence of that. And so as they were talking about that or discussing this in the lore of the New Jedi Order, the conclusion is no, the Empire wouldn't have stopped the invasion at all. That the New Republic had a better chance because of their fighting techniques and stuff like that. Han disagrees. Let's see. Yes, he does. Though retcon, but still counts as S-canon characters appealing to the C-canon. Let's see here. I still need to read the series, but I have a feeling one or more of the Luke's first students die. And there's a lot of death going on in here. A lot of death. You know, so there's the progress of the invasion as we get through Agents of Chaos. That's a long one. And Han's like basically sabbatical that he basically goes on after Chewie's, and it's all for mourning, helping a past friend, all of that. And so there's that back and forth, and Leia graciously like, you know what, he needs to do what he needs to do. So she loves him from the far, but you know, there's a lot of that little turmoil within Han, and we see that come to resolution and stuff later on and stuff like that. And then you know, moving towards the core and more planets being taken, and then balance points is the one that we discussed on Bane's channel. So go check that out. The progress of the invasion we got through, and they have taken more planets during this time. And Luke's trying to find a river, basically a river to keep the Jedi safe, you know, so there's that in there. Let's see here. The Wong, yeah, the typos. How do Wong ships use hyperspace? The Wong, you mean the Vong, the Vong. Some characters don't get there till Legacy. If you know, you know. Right. And the Battle of Duro, we discussed that as well. The Gateway Dome, what happened with that, and we only discussed by up to chapter 16. So we'll get into that more on Bane's channel. I don't think we have a set day. I could be wrong. I could be missing something on that, and I apologize. Getting into the edge of victory, all of that, and the escape from Yavin 4, basically when I was gonna say Ben, when Anakin goes and saves Tahiri Valia, you know, and the Peace Brigade, another thing. So I'm not trying to, you know, give too many spoilers, but at this point, what is fucking spoilers these days when, you know, you could easily look things up. People discuss this all the time. And then you get into Star by Star. Star by Star is the biggest book in the EU. One of the main hardcovers. So like if you, like we discussed this before, but if you only read the hardcovers, you're still going to get the story. And so Troy Denning made one of the most impactful books of the New Jedi Order. And it is part of the main storyline. Not like the other books aren't. It's just that if you just picked up the hardcovers, you still get the story. If you know, so those people are like, oh my God, 19 books is too much. Pick up the fucking hardcover books and read them. You'll still get the story. You'll still get it all. But it is the biggest book ever written in the EU. Let's see here. Jarek and Anderson would had their asses kicked by the Vong so hard. Correct. Vong don't use hyperdrives. So there's special anomalies and how they breed these biological ships and stuff like that. Their bio equipment, I guess you could say. So that's a good discussion to talk about, like the Vong technology, basically their biotechnology and stuff like that. That's a discussion to have on its own at its own time in the discussion of New Jedi Order. Not during when we go to the events. It's going to have to be a special discussion, and I have taken breaks to do special discussions, like we discussed Anakin Solo and stuff like that. So that's another thing to talk about, because there's so many questions, and like, how do these biotechnologies work? There you go. Hey, Denise Gamer, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. So, covering all the way up to Star by Star and beyond. It's been a hell of a 2025 for Cap Chat. And you guys been on this journey with me. And I think it's been amazing that you guys keep returning and want to learn more, whether if you read it or not, if you're revisiting, having this discussion. And that's what this is about, is having the discussion, asking questions, and maybe even covering something that I didn't cover and you cover it in the chat and create a bigger discussion, a greater discussion. That's what it's about. I'm giving you guys the tools and the directive to get into the discussion further. I may not cover everything, and that's where you fit in and where you come in to bring those discussions forward. Bring those discussions forward. And it's amazing. And you guys are amazing. And thank you guys again. Now, Cap Chat has evolved from the beginning. Like Cap Chat, I was coming on here. I was doing random lives now and then. I have to go look back and see exactly when I made it just for Thursdays. But Cap Chat was something born of discussing the state of Star Wars. And my disdain for like how they treated Luke Skywalker in the Disney lore and all this and what was going on. And it like compare and contrast evolved from that. A lot of things evolved from Cap Chat. It was called Coffee Chat. And I think it was Tim. I could be wrong. But I remember someone was pointing out calf being coffee. And I was like, you know what? I need to call it Cap Chat. I need to keep consistency since this is a Star Wars channel. Let's see here. My favorite moment, J.I. Cup, was nice enough to visit us in the chat and having a Star Wars Meltdown. My favorite 2025 Cap Chat moment. And that was fucking crazy, wasn't it? That was crazy. I mean, he was like, oh, well, look at you. You got so little viewers and blah, 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 blah. You know what? I don't buy viewers. My channel grows organically, authentically. And it stayed that way. It stayed that way. And because I don't do response to current news like I used to a lot, like especially for Cap Chat, you know, I'm not going to grow. My channel's not a response channel to pop culture or Star Wars. It is about preserving George Lucas' era of Star Wars, and that's been my platform from day one. And so, depending on your niche, your platform design will determine how fast you're going to grow. And am I swaying and moving with the algorithm so that I could stay relevant, or the channel can get more views, or I can grow quickly? Not really. That's not my focus. And that's okay. So those who are saying, oh, well, look at your little channel, da, 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 you know, or you get only so many likes, and that's even when people tell me on Twitter, that's not the focus. You know, I mean, my quality, my performance, my style, what I offer as a platform is not, and what I do is not based on about how many likes I have, or whether I'm a success or not. What tells about me being successful is that I'm still here. You guys still show up. The videos are still watched. And that's the tell of success. And then people trying to cancel, and I'm still here because this is not the first time I've ever had a cancel campaign on me. And it won't be the last, because I'll still be here sharing Cringe Factor, sharing the state of Star Wars, comparing and contrast, discussing George Lucas era, and debunking the anti-EU rhetoric. I'll still be here doing all of that. All of it. And 2025 has been, you know, a factor to this, proof to this, that I remain. I'm still here, and you guys are fucking amazing. Yes. Let's see here. It's not about the subs. It keeps them by staying relevant. Likes and subs can be bought, right, Jedi? Yes, they could be bought. And then you can go into the drama part of things to try to get subs from drama. But if that's not sustainable. OG gets way more engagement than Jedi Acup and his fake fans, or his fake subs. Yeah. Your viewers are more real than his girlfriend. Hashtag jealous speed. And then also who I platform with, who I unite or have an alliance with, doesn't change what my channel is. It also it enhances it. It also, my channel offers a broader view because we're not an echo chamber here, right? My channel is significantly different from every single one of the Gatekeepers Alliance. And you can say that about each and every one of them. And that's what makes it unique. It's what makes us unique. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I would not have it any other way. Do I expose Shills and Fence Riders? Yes, I do. I have my own way of doing it. Usually it's in Cringe Factor, which is a hell of a lot fun. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember if the Valley of the Jedi got destroyed or not. I need to replay Jedi Outcast again. Did it get destroyed? I thought it did. I could be wrong. But again, I have not played the game, so you guys could tell me. But I thought it did. Like lore-wise, I thought it did. And it breaks my heart about this because, you know, no matter what, like what direction he wants to take and stuff, I thought that there was some kind of like camaraderie and stuff. And who knows what he's thinking behind the scenes with everything that has gone down. Who knows? Look at it this way, OG. They hate you, but won't hesitate to rip you off for their own channels. Correct. All right. So with that being said, let's get into our cringe factor, you know, so that we can start winding down and so we can get into our New Year's with what we have planned for the day. But thank you guys again for hanging out. Where is my cringe factor video thingy mabobber? Here we go.
So uncivilized.
So uncivilized. Good old Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's see here. So, many of you guys may have seen in the title, the thumbnail, what our cringe factor is. Star Wars sequel trilogy looks worse than ever for one major reason. Now, what do you think that major reason is? What do you think that is? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. And also tell me what your opinion is on the sequel trilogy. Peak fire, yo. Cringe factor. J.I. Acup hates the new video of Melvin put out earlier this morning. Melvin put a video out this morning. I'll have to check it out. I don't know what's going on with that. If he did, then I'm going to go check it out afterwards. And I suggest you guys do too. Let's see here. Reason? It sucks. All right. So let me know what your opinion on, and for at least episode 7, it's been 10 years. Now, what is the same? But they try to coin with the PT. Oh, the PT started being liked after 10 years after it came out, which is a lie. And so they're trying to have that same logic with
the sequel trilogy. So what do you guys think about that? So this article is by Kevin Erdman. And it says, since 2019, Kevin Erdman has been on the Screen Rant's senior staff writers, covering all kinds of superhero and Star Wars media with Easter egg breakdowns, theory pieces, breaking news, and more. A huge Star Wars and MCU fan, Kevin also loves Batman because he's Batman. But, so there you go. So this says a warning. This post contains spoilers for Star Wars Legacy of Vader. So that kind of tells you, gives you a gist of what's going on here. Let's see here. Griff Trooper has one sequel, his sequel rewrites in every video description. Ha ha ha. There we go. And that's another thing. So I have to prepare some of my clip for my Fence Rider of the Year. Or I think that's the Fence Rider of the Year. Yeah. Nomination I have not done. Oh my God, I have not done it yet. Oh, geez. All right, let's get into this. 10 years later, it's become all too evident that Star Wars sequels, the Disney sequels, are some of the most divisive films in the entire franchise. Well, you got that right. Now we've have something that makes the sequels arguably look even more worse in retrospect. What could that be? Not that it, like he says, not that it has been seen and been divisive and is horrible in the beginning. So what is coming out or has came out that makes it even worse? Essentially, a key problem with the sequels is not what the sequel trilogy did wrong, but what it didn't do at all. Keeping that in mind, it's quite remarkable that some of Kylo Ren's best moments of the character depth are instead found in canonical, so Disney canon, Disney lore comics, particularly 2025's new Legacy of Vader series. So there you have it. So it's showing here, and this is the cringe factor part of it, is because when you watch a Star Wars show, movie, and you get to know the characters and stuff like that, like for example, Luke Skywalker, you want to present the best of that character so that they are memorable, right? Memorable. Are well liked. But we'll use memorable. And so when growing up and watching all 3, 4, and 5, or not 3, 4, and 5, geez, 4, 5, and 6, I wanted to know what happened with Luke, and of course Han and Leia. But I want to know what happened with Luke after Return of the Jedi, because he made a pledge of continuing on the legacy of the Jedi, right? He made that pledge. And I want to know exactly what happened with him. Like, what did he do? What changes did he make? How did he rebuild it? How strong was it? What other factors in the galaxy gave the Order challenges, right? What other wars came about that he faced with his Order? Like, how did he make it? How did he find recruits? Basically, all of that. All of that. And I would safely say that, yes, the stories for Luke Skywalker enhanced him even more going forward in the future with him as a Jedi, growing into a knight, a master, a grandmaster. But the story was not bad. And so the materials, other media that was presented didn't have to fix the movie character whatsoever. It just enhanced it a little bit more. Now you can say that the Legacy of the Vader series for Kylo Ren enhanced his character, but not in a positive way. As you've seen here, the character was already written poorly, done poorly, that now the outside material has to compensate for that. See the difference between that? The difference between that. It's a huge difference. Enhancing, basically just showing and carrying on the legacy of what the movies did, are enhancing to fix the character from the bad writing the movie did. There is a huge difference for that. Let's see here. Jason's fall was believable while Kylo's fall was retarded. There you go. These articles are basically advertising for the shitty comics. Yeah, that's another thing too. But I wanted to share that. Compare and contrast here and Cringe Factor. He wanted to see that in live action. Here we go. Still criticism right there. He's saying that Kylo Crybaby Ren's best moments are in the Marvel comics. Yep, exactly. You do see a shift in Luke from wide-eyed farmer to experienced Jedi Grandmaster who still has the youthfulness. Correct. Correct. So let's go on. So between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Palpatine, the series dives headfirst into Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's turmoil and determination to kill his past. So there you go. So they're saying that it's taking, like, not that the movie novels couldn't have done some corrections and stuff and enhanced the movies even more. It is taking comics to course correct the bad writing that was done for Kylo Ren. that was done for Kylo Ren. You do see a shift in Luke from, oh yeah, I've read that one already. So that's your cringe factor right there. Do I want to read more? No, we already know. And that it is taking outside material. And we've talked about this before. I've talked about this before in Calf Chat. Even before 2025. That it's taking outside material to course correct. So the other media that builds up the franchise to course correct the movies. Now we're going with the gist of the movies are the foundation. That's how it was in George Lucas' era of Star Wars. Movies were the foundation. I'm going to go ahead and take this off the screen. The movies were the foundation and everything was built off the movies. So the movies was basically something that was there that was solid. The unmovable object. And so if you take that same philosophy with Disney, Star Wars, and there's so many things that people say, well, the comics and the novels and stuff, they're not really the canon. Only the shows and the movies are. But then you have the announcement from Disney saying that all media produced under Disney is going to contribute to their canon. And then you have Matthew Martin basically saying that canon is what you make of it. So you have all these conflicting reasons. And then you have, now one of their pushers for the lore under Screen Rant sharing that their comic series is course correcting and making the character better, which should have been, like I said, should have been, my cats just fell out of the window, should have been done from the start. Hey, OG, I've been considering doing a StreamYard live stream for testing purposes. Do you think it's a good idea? If you never used StreamYard before and you want to test it out, I would suggest doing it. You can get it for free and see how that goes for you. Cap, the Disney Marvel comics made Kylo's character worse, more stupid depth. And you know what? I've never read through that and stuff, but this is what this guy is saying, that it's so even if it's bad, something bad's making the character that was written in the movies first good. That doesn't sound good. That does not sound good. Yeah, Disney has no tier system to their continuity. That's why everything goes. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If you follow along what was the foundation that George created, the movies are the foundation, everything builds off of it in one continuity in the canon, then you can, apply that to Disney and then go from there with the logic to make it make sense. And then in that fact, then they are doing a horrible job of maintaining that foundation, maintaining the structure that they're building. And I'll go with that analogy. And that's something that we have been talking and discussing, whether you have your own platform or you've been doing it, like, for example, on my platform, in my chats, having the discussion with me and sharing it on your social media and stuff like that. We've been discussing this for a very long time, since the beginning, right? Since the beginning. And it's very evident how cracked and disheveled the foundation is now. And that's because there's no true direction that they're going. They have planned to go, because you have those misconceptions, like everybody's saying something a little bit different about the foundation of the canon, of their quote unquote canon. And then so because of that, then you have the anti-EU people talking against George Lucas era Star Wars to, raise up the Disney version. Do you see what's going on here? That's exactly what's going on. And then these people are like, no, I still like the EU, blah, 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 blah. But it was never canon. But then you also see them talking and discussing and praising Disney. And sure, like what you like. But don't come over here and use it as a gimmick. Use it as a gimmick to praise something. The anti-EU are trying to combine Disney canon with it now. Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that. Disney continuity is fake fan fiction. There you go. So I've been pointing out like the key words, the key buzzwords that hit the nostalgia for like new coming material, like movie shows and stuff like that. I pointed that out just recently. And now I point out the direction that these anti-EU people are going, because they know the foundation of Disney continuity for Star Wars is broken. So because of that, and they knew that from the start, and they knew that from the start, and it's basically a directive, like these people are sheeple. And it's a directive that Disney has given for them to spew out this rhetoric of what is superior, what is not, bashing what George Lucas did in the premise of his company, right? To raise what the mouse was doing. And it's quite interesting to look at that and review that and talk about it now, because it's all there from the beginning, bashing longtime fans. From the beginning, bashing longtime fans. And you can go on to any Star Wars channels that has been talking about this from the beginning, whether they are still discussing it or not. You can go back and look in their history to see that gaslighting, to even, staging the istinphobe rhetoric against fans when new shows are coming out. So whenever the mouse speaks, they do when it comes to Star Wars. And I will continue to talk about that. In fact, there's things that I want to, bring up that I'll bring up later on in the future CAF chats. So that, but we'll be bringing up the history of the last 10 years or so under Disney, 10 plus years. Boy, has it been a ride. Boy, has it been a ride. Let's see here. Josh says, I had recently been thinking about emailing George to say thank you for everything he has made, but I don't know if I should and don't know how to contact him. Yeah, he's a very private man. They want Disney to peck the EU like vultures that they are. A lot of Kevins out there, correct. Disney continuity is fake fan fiction. I already read that. All right. So, again, you guys, thank you for a magnificent 2025. You guys are amazing. Those who listen on Twitter, those that are now coming through Rumble, which I don't think I really had anybody in Rumble today, and that's fine. It's New Year's. A lot of people that do my morning Rumbles are probably not awake, not here. Shout out to you guys anyways for your support. You know, we're coming off of what you would say a holiday, I guess you could say. But nonetheless, thank you. You know, and here, of course, here on YouTube. And I think I've got like within a few hours the other day or the other night, I had 15 new subscribers jump on. So thank you guys for those 15 who are new, brand new here. Thank you so much. I haven't checked my stats for today to see if any other new subscribers have joined the channel, subscribe to the channel. But thank you anyways. And, you know, without you guys, I want to be here. So thank you so much. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and close here. I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready to go. We are going to go to, I didn't go dance at the New Year's Eve Redwood Powwow that's in the city near me that I normally dance at and celebrate the New Year's in. Just wasn't in my cards this year. But we are going to go visit as spectators, go check out the vendors, and visit family and friends that are dancing there. So we're going to get ready for that. Maybe I'll show a clip or two of the powwow when I'm there with you guys. So yeah, I love competing at that powwow. It just wasn't happening this year for a lot of reasons, but it's okay. You know, not everything always happens all the time, you know, like the way you want it. And so we're going to go over there and spectate, have a good time. And yeah, it's always fun dancing in the new year when I can, you know. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Catch me on Grizzy's channel tonight. I look forward to that. And yeah, and Cap Chat next week, we're going to talk about Nom Anor and him being planted into the galaxy prior to the invasion. Now, how long ago was that? We'll discuss. That's going to be fun. And then, of course, what is going to be the next Cringe Factor? Are we going to show any Shills? Maybe. I was thinking about adding a Shill segment here, but I don't know yet because we have so many segments here. We have LucasFacts, we have Book of the Week, we have Cringe Factor, and then we discuss the lore, and then something else gets discussed and that's not planned, which is fine because I want this to be organic, especially because I'm chatting with you guys in the chat. Yeah. And then I have new videos out. Oh, by the way, the art challenge. Let me go ahead and pull up that clip. The art challenge. Can't forget about that because to me, that is celebrating. We're going into the new year, celebrating George Lucas' era of Star Wars. We're going into that. Let me see here. So, but we're going into that, the celebration George Lucas era of Star Wars under the premise of showing and through our creativity this so let me see, let me pull this up. Let me go ahead and get rid of you. Don't want you on this in my screen share anymore. All right, so I'm gonna play it. Where is it? And we'll discuss it before we fully leave. There we go. Let me go ahead and make the screen bigger. All right, so there you go.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Alan.
We're not that we don't love our Scottish friends here, but we're not going to watch about Scotland right now. So anyways, there is the art challenge so far. So it begins January 5th. The video, the instruction video for the week of January 5th will go up on January 4th. And then I will also share it on my platforms as well. And it'll tell you what the theme is, what characters being the focus, and where to post your art at with hashtag OG Art Challenge. So I'm very excited about that. The themes to make you think and express through your creativity of those themes. Again, celebrating George Lucas era of Star Wars. It's not all movie characters, but it is going for 4 weeks, one character per week. So it gives everybody a chance, because I know how busy life can get. I am a testament to that. Gives you a chance to express, do your drawing, your painting, your collage, mosh-page of images that relate to the theme and the character, what have you, and share with. So if you're not a person like a pen or brush to kind paper, canvas kind of person, and you can do collages that express your creativity on the theme and character, what have you. So there you go. I would love to see what you guys have to share. Each week, I will share everybody's art, or try to, on CAF Chats, and then I will give an honorary mention. And each week we'll have one honorary mention that will go into the drawing to possibly win any copy, a choice of any of my art, a copy of any of my art. So I have from Star Wars to non-Star Wars related. So you get to choose from any of that. And I will discuss the size. I'm thinking about doing making poster, especially if it's Star Wars, making a poster and sending it to you. So with that being said, join in on the art challenge. You don't have to be a master artist or anything like that. You can still be someone that's been exploring your own art techniques. It's not about necessarily the quality. It's about the expression and your story per the character and theme. And so it's in celebration of George Lucas era of Star Wars. So thank you guys again for tuning in. If you're catching the replay, thank you for hanging out. Let me know you're here. Comment, like, and subscribe as always. And you guys have a great day. Happy New Year. And I will talk with you guys later.